Alright, if you want to stay in blissful ignorance, I would recommend you skip this video. So, UV damage. So when you see an old person, like you can recognize a 20-year-old versus an 80-year-old, you're generally seeing two things. You're seeing skin health, like from your vision, right? You're seeing skin health and body composition, okay? And skin damage is not just something that happens. It's not just something that you have no control over, or it's just an internal process that we can't stop. Partially, but the majority of skin damage is actually from UV damage. About 90% of your aging, like your literal aging, skin aging, is from UV damage. So if you've seen like those pictures of truckers, like with half their face that was exposed to the sun, it's like 20 or 30 years older in terms of skin age than the side that wasn't. It is very, very interesting, kind of scary. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the UV damage part. The body composition part is pretty simple. Like you can have the body composition that is, healthy and aesthetic regardless of your chronological age, which is like how long you've been on the earth, right? So, skin age. Okay. Basically, UV damage is a cumulative process. Draw my pencil. UV damage is a cumulative process that keeps stacking and stacking and stacking over and over again. Okay? So, what you want to do is decrease the amount of cumulative damage. You can't ever get to 0%. Like if you've seen sunscreen, it's like 97% blocked, whatever, because it's like SPF 30. Or SPF 50 is like 98% blocked. Allegedly, we're gonna get into that. There's 3 ways to stop UV damage, assuming you're actually exposed to indoor lights. To UV damage. So let's say like there's an indoor version and outdoor version. Indoors, you still get UVA damage, which causes skin aging and penetrates like deeper into the skin barrier from like through windows. It still counts. So what you can do for that is keep your blinds closed. That sucks because you don't get like the circadian rhythm or the natural light. Or you can get a window filter, like film, you put it on, or you can get a company to put it on. Or, just like wear sunscreen indoors. So those are the options. I would recommend trying to, like, if you're in a place where you're getting a lot of indoor light, make sure you have one of those things happening. I think the best would be the film. That way you get like the circadian benefits, and it's like 99% block for UVA, UVB. So that would be the best. Okay. Now we're gonna go into the like harder part, which is going outside and sunscreen. And sunscreen and then like the physical block. So the ways you can stop that are minimizing your time outdoors, especially in high UV, which is generally like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. or so. It'll depend on where you are in the world. So you can see that on the like Apple Weather app, and you can see it'll give you like a UV index. What that basically is how much damage you're accumulating. So like even if the UV is 0 and there's still light out, you're accumulating damage. You're just accumulating it at like 3% of peak exposure at it would have been at like 12 to 1, right? So the ways you can protect yourself, first of all, is limit the peak exposure. So from like 9 a.m. to like 4 p.m. Then, if you have to be out during peak exposure, but even if you want to take it a bit further, even when it's not peak exposure, like even when the UV is low or moderate, you want to wear protection. That's the best. So like clothes that are UPF rated, or if you don't have UPF rated clothes, generally blue and black, and then tightly woven fabrics. So you can kind of see like this is just a pillowcase on my desk. You can like hold it up to the light and see generally like this has, you can still see visible light through it. I don't know if you can you? Yeah. So this probably wouldn't be great. Maybe, different fabrics have different like UPF rating basically, but Ideally, you'd want actual UPF clothes. If not, just try to get as tight of a woven fabric, and blue or black is generally better. Cool. So, avoiding peak UV, if you are, try to use UPF clothing. And then for your face, obviously most people aren't gonna like be wearing a mask, or like full face mask, whatever. So sunglasses and a wide brim hat, or just a hat, and then sunscreen. So I just got these actually. They're kind of cool. I like the packaging stuff. They're like wraparound. So that's the thing for sunglasses. A lot of people get sunglasses, but they're not wraparound. So like, okay, wait. Looks max for a little bit. It looks, I think these are hard. These are like Mao Jim, so they're like the dad sunglasses, but low-key hard. Anyways, what you want to do is make sure they're wraparound. So like a lot of sunglasses, I can actually grab them really quick. I'll show you some other sunglasses. Okay. So like other sunglasses like these, they're good, like they protect your eyes, so it's better than nothing, but it's about like 80% protection. Reason being, light's going here and here. You can see my eye right now. That means like UV damage is coming in this way. Better than nothing. But if you can, wraparound is better because no light's coming in here, or very minimal, and then no light, you can't see my eye. See that? So no light's coming in here, same with the top. So yeah, that would be a good thing to do. Okay, now we're gonna go to sunscreen. People think sunscreen is actually more simple than it is. It's actually not. So sunscreen is interesting. Basically, every company is pretty much completely lying about two variables. Okay, the first one is the actual protection of their product. So you can have SPF 30 on sunscreens that don't perform at an SPF 30 level of effectiveness. So let me grab another sunscreen so you can see. Grab another thing so you can see. But yeah, sunscreens. Okay, cool. Let's go over this. All right. So, first of all, to my point, this is a sunscreen. It's rated broad spectrum SPF 30. Broad spectrum, by the way, doesn't apply to UVA, which is more damaging for age. So this is kind of shit, but it's whatever, for UVB, okay? This, in third-party testing, sucks. It performs at like 70-80% block, which is nowhere near SPF 30. That's like maybe like SPF 4 or 5. So you need to, you can go on sunscreentester.com, and then there's a person, I think she tests every single sunscreen so you can see. Basically, okay, this sunscreen's bad. First problem. Second problem is basically like the ingredient profile. So like ideally you're not gonna put on, oxalates and like shit. What is this called? Basically like polymers. It's endocrine disruption basically. Most of the like chemicals that are in chemical sunscreen are bad for your endocrine system, but UV damage is worse, so sunscreen is better than nothing. Okay, so two types. There's a mineral. These are mineral. This one's actually chemical, but it's like, I think might be a mix. This one, chemical, okay? So, chemical sunscreens, there's chemical sunscreen that don't work, which is this one. Chemical sunscreens that do work, like this one, it actually is like tested to block UV at a good rate, like 97, 98, whatever. Then there's mineral that works, and then physical, these are physical, so like instead of chemical. And yeah, those are the types of sunscreen. Mineral generally has better ingredients, but it leaves a white cast, so you look like kind of gaunt, and like a little bit fucked up, and also it kind of wipes off like if you have it on your hands. Chemical is worse in terms of like the endocrine disruption, but I think it's better in terms of UV in like actual cases, because most people don't really want to walk around with like it looks like shit on your face kind of thing. It's kind of not ideal for interacting with other humans. So yeah, I've came to the conclusion that I want chemical that's like I can apply a lot and don't have to worry about cost or anything like that because it's cheap, and it has like high protection. So that's my conclusion. There's different ones you can come to. If you don't care about white cast, minerals probably better. You can go on an app called Yuka, scan the barcodes for the sunscreen that you can see. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know the exact rate you can actually slow the aging damage. So if you're gonna age 10 years of skin aging, on average, with like full protection, theoretically you could get that to like 1 year every 10 years, but that's not possible most likely. So it might be closer to like taking off 3 to 4 years for every 10 years you age your skin. You could maybe age like 3 to 4 years. Yeah, I don't know if a super robust at-home test to actually tell your cumulative UV damage, so it's kind of a little bit difficult there. But yeah, something to think about, and it's interesting. I wonder what will happen in the future if we'll see like different cumulative age scores for different people in the future, like different chronological versus biological ages. It might be interesting. But yeah, cool. All right. If you want any help, I'm doing a free call. Link in the description. But yeah, if you want to click it, you don't have to. And yeah, it's pretty much everything. Try to wear sun protection, either sunscreen or like physical wide brim hats, UPF clothing, and then avoid peak hours. So try to keep it when the UV's low, or at least like low moderate if you can. And then wear wide wraparound sunglasses. But yeah, if you want to subscribe, that'd be cool. If not, whatever. Yeah, peace.